Hello again, welcome to my weekly screencast. I'm going to share with you some information about how I managed to design and make this 3D space pod print. You'll see this later on the full camera. But first I'm going to show you how I made it in 3D. So I was using 3ds Max. You can use whatever you want. You could use Blender, Maya, Modo, whatever your thing is. And here are the final results in plural, in fact. Not here is the final results. So this one is from the top, and as you can see, some of the details are lost even on a high quality print for a print this small. And I printed this out in the Ultimaker 2 3D printer, and there it is from below, and you can see my initials there that I put on all the models that I sell at the moment. And by the way, you can buy this model from my shop. If it's not on my shop, it means that you're just watching this video and I'm about to put it onto my shop. So if it's not my shop, email me and ask for it. And this pod I started with a few very simple sketches, which you can see in the blog. Go to the link below if you're watching this from YouTube. And then I pushed it around in 3ds Max and came to this pod thing. And this pod is an orbiter, and it orbits around a big structure. And the big structure is a floating Arctic imaginary city, which I'm making now in FabLab Iceland. Sorry, FabLab Isafjorda, which is in the northwest of Iceland, only about 250 miles away from Greenland, which is amazing. So it's inspired me to make this imaginary city while I'm here, and also make it as a kit that you can buy, get it sent to your house, and then paint it and make it look cool as well. You can even put an Arduino in it if you want and make it light up. Anyway, so that's the model, which is the orbiter ship. Here are the tripod legs, and as I always say, if you're printing things out, if you're getting things 3D printed, it's a lot different to just making 3D graphics. So if you're making 3D graphics, you know, you're just doing stuff on the screen and it doesn't have to reflect the real world too much, yeah? When you're printing something out, you have to think about engineering terms, yeah? You have to think about how it's going to print. So in this case, these legs would be, it's a bad way to print. So what I did is I took the legs off, as you can see, and I made little holes there, and these holes would slot into that with glue. And what I did, I'll just go to another file, which is the next file that I saved, and then I set it up like this. So you've got the columns going horizontal way, and you think about it, the print, this is a layer printer, so it adds layers. So it's a shape like this. If it's horizontal, it gives you the best way to do the print, yeah? If it was like this, it's going to print upwards and it would be stupid. So always think of it, it's a bit like the grain of the wood. And again, this is facing up the way. I had a bit of problems with this, printing it just from using the raft, which is the process you use when you use the 3D printer to support it. So I actually made a support in Autodesk in 3ds Max. Gave it a bit more support, and hence it worked. And then I exported it as an STL file into the free program Cura, which is for the Ultimaker. There it is, nicely set up in Cura. Scratching my nose. Doesn't mean I'm lying, by the way. And there is where you test the layers. It's very important that you test the layers, because sometimes things are wrong, sometimes the actual outer edge is corrupted, it's not showing. I've had a model that I've imported that there's no outer edge. It shows you the internal structure, the honeycomb lattice structure. You can change the print setting qualities, and then again it tells you how long it's going to take. This is a bit big, so the print that you see in the one I showed you here was about 3 hours. Yeah. Okay, and then I just saved it onto the the SD card, put it in the 3D printer, and it printed. And it printed okay when it was set up like this. So here's the final product. Can you see that? There you go. So it's got quite a lot of good detail on it. The tripod legs look pretty cool, and the back burner is all good, and the top is good as well. And this is part of an imaginary city, one of my imaginary cities, and the city I'm making at the moment is called Arctic City. So this is a kind of orbiter spaceship that will fly around this Arctic careful what I'm saying, this Arctic city, along with other orbiters and those chicken pod coin spaceships that you saw in another blog. Or if you haven't seen that, go to that one, how I made that. And I'm making a kit, so this is all going to be available as a kit, this imaginary city, this Arctic city that you can buy in a nice little box. So watch this space. Next week I'm going to do about color. I'm going to be painting some of these models with a very limited resource because I can't get some tools, some paint stuff up here, all the way up here in northwest Iceland. So I've got some acrylic paints and I'm going to do the best I can. I don't have an airbrush, so it's a good thing that you'll be able to watch to work out how to paint stuff, make it look good with limited resources. And isn't it amazing? I mean, let's stop for a minute. I mean, I was a kid in the 80s, and I used to make like model kits like this. Yeah, I didn't make the model kits, I bought the kits in, and then I painted them. And isn't it amazing now to think in those times or before, or even only 10 years ago or whatever, that it would have taken ages to make these kits. It would have taken a lot of resources. You would have need to tool up, as it were. These machines would have had to make injection molds and things. And now I made basically this product that's for sale on my website, or it will be depending on when you're watching this video. And I did a concept sketch to 3D graphic development to 3D print setup, then to 3D print in a matter of 2 days. And I did it in the northwest of Iceland. I'm not in London at the moment. I'm not in California. I'm not in a big city place with tools and stuff for movie industry or modeling kits or games companies. I'm in the northwest of Iceland in Fab Lab Isafjorda. Isn't it good? We live, I always say, we live in the future. So if you like this video, you can donate, you can buy my book, you can check out more of my videos, you can subscribe to this channel, you can go to my Twitter, James Abel Art, and you can check out my website for my artwork, my online shop, and more tips and tutorials. And I'm always interested in comments and what you have to say and what you're doing at the moment, so don't be shy and please comment. And next week I'm gonna be painting 3D models with a limited resource. So check out that, and check out my blog every week along with a YouTube screencast. So thanks very much and catch you later. Hope you have a good evening, morning, daytime, week, whatever you're doing at the moment and wherever in the world you are.